time for your mouth.
Oh, Lord.
Music is on.
Oh, Lord.
All right.
Switch it around, though. Switching gears.
Now.
Lord.
We really live.
Oh, we live.
Oh, we
Well,
really
we
live.
live like 95.
We live like
over here.
95. Like my dog Law said. Live like 95, baby.
Baby.
Hey, man, I sure appreciate everybody that been asking for this final word, man.
Man, they been asking for this since the final word last week.
Say, I swear, man, that's all I heard is, man, when y'all doing the final word.
Hey, no, you got any of those final words?
Yeah, man.
It's crack,
this-
baby.
Hey, we gonna keep this final word going, man. This is good luck to our season, man.
Man, come on. Hello.
Let's get it. Yeah, we got the OC in the house. We got Big Game James in the house, and nothing but the best one.
Yo. Had to get back in here, man.
Let's get it
Oh
done.
man, we got these 49ers coming up, man. We got to get this thing popping.
Hey, we gonna talk a little bit about that Philly too, man.
We're going to talk about the
That Philly
Eagles.
pack.
We gonna get a
There's
little
some
bit of that
holes in
Philly
this
there.
house. There's some holes in this house. There's some holes in this house. There's some holes in this house. That's what we're going to be singing with them Eagles. There's some holes in this house.
Yeah, Green Boys.
That was our backup squad.
that's
all
all
right.
them excuses.
Well, that's
Yeah,
what we did. We were supposed to. Y'all didn't want to bring them starters because we'll smack the hell out of them too. You seen the post law? You showed it.
Yeah.
37-17 with the red rifle. 41-21 when it counted. We stomped you. 51-26 when you said it didn't matter. But at the end of the day, Dak Prescott 8 touchdowns, no interceptions against you bums. And I know he got a great record against you, 7-2 against you. He goes, there's some holes in this house.
There
There's
you
some
go.
holes in this house. There's some holes in this house.
Oh,
Let's go, baby.
Hey, let's go. Law said let's go. So let's start the intro. Let's get it. Let's go, man. Law said let's go. So let's
do,
go.
man.
Law said Yoga Flame.
Yoga fire, yoga flame.
I just wanna run it up.
Who's scared,
Can I check
man?
or something? I've been really in
Let's
the
get it.
field, let up.
See, I see.
Ain't nobody scared.
I thought we must protect this house.
I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take you to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
They balling out over there in Cincinnati, baby.
They all
Kinda check the
lost,
sound.
know that.
Lately, I just wanna run it up. Count that too, count it up, count it up. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Need them ones, I need them fives. Need them tens, I need that change. To the safe, got blues inside. Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses when I play. Charge it to the game. I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T Black, I'm with Rabbit now. I'm with Day, yeah, I'm with Jay, yeah, I'm with Chuck and now. Still the same, not switching sides, now it's that loyalty. You switch sides off for the bag, and that's worth more to me. I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit. I've been really in the field, let her rush.
You always gotta end it on that one, dog.
Always.
Pack, yeah.
Let's
You
go.
always gotta end it whenever they drop that last line. Come in, hammer too legit. You know what he was talking about, daggone. You know what they were saying. We was too legit on that daggone Saturday night. Too legit. Ooh, too legit to quit. Ooh, ooh. Too legit. Ooh, too legit to quit. Ooh, ooh.
Yeah, we got somebody that said that basically we beat their second and third string. Listen, nobody gave us no excuses. Nobody
Right.
gave us no excuses when we went there with Dak as a backup. Nobody gave us no excuses. So I ain't giving Philly no excuses. Why we got to be the bigger man?
Right.
You feel me? You just said it. You just said it, boss. Nobody gave us excuses last year when we went in there with Ben DiNucci
Yeah, nobody gave us no
and
excuses.
still
You know what?
almost beat you.
You know what? This is what nobody gave us the excuse for. For 9.5 years, we had Jason Garrett as our head coach. He only lasts 26 games with the New York Giants. Nobody gave us an excuse. Nobody said, hey, man, you got Jason Garrett. You see how difficult it is to win games now when you got a horrible head coach. I digress.
Horrible.
Horrid. Yeah.
Horrible. He ain't coaching in the NFL no more.
Like I can be quick on Philly. I have my final words and it'll be real quick. This is my message to the Cowboys Nation. Everybody, please listen to me. Stop giving Philly equal energy. That's the key. Stop giving
love what
them
you said.
equal energy.
Tell
That's
them
what
they ain't
makes
our
them
rivals,
think
boss.
they can even. Thank you. They are not our rivals, big. And
Tell
we
them. You
give
said
them
it.
equal energy as if they warrant our conversation or a response. No, you don't even deserve a real quality response. You're beneath us. All your arguments are jaded, and you got that spanking you deserve. But I'm not gonna even talk up at a Philly fan. I'm not gonna raise my voice. I'm not gonna do anything because that's like a kid. I'm not gonna even like.
I was a kid Saturday. I was a kid Saturday.
Oh, you win at
I was a
somebody?
kid Saturday. Hey, boss, I've been good. I don't even be engaging in them. But Saturday, I had enough. I had enough
You had
of
to
it.
get one
I
of
had
them, bro.
enough. I went on a rant. And here's the thing. The rant was legit though, and it crushed souls and hearts because when I brought it crushed the souls that any Eagles fan that was in there, I was crushing their souls and hearts because it was just basically saying, when we was doing this in the 2000s, I just crushed it real quick. You always talk about these Cowboys living 25 years, this and that. Well, let's be honest. If you ruled the 2000s was going back and forth, how aren't y'all classic chokers when you went to 4 NFC championships and choked every year? How are you not champions when you finally went to a Super Bowl with McNabb and your receiver, Julio, who came with us, said you was throwing up in the huddle on the last drive? How are you not chokers when it's 2022 now? You got one championship 2017 since 2000, so that means one championship in 22 years. But you talk about Dallas have not getting a Super Bowl in 25. So aren't you the same thing? You're beneath us. Dallas owns you. We beat you 3 straight times. The overall record is very for Dallas, and the only reason why you caught up is because you in the 2000s you had that run, and guess what? You're still behind.
Yeah, you still behind.
Woo.
Yeah. OC, did you
Well,
have
guys, the
anything?
only thing I can say is this.
Go ahead.
The only thing I can say is this, real quick, Boss Cowboy, is this, man. The Eagles are like that younger little sister that will never be as pretty, never be as desired, and never be as popular as their older, prettier sister. That's what the Eagles are to the Dallas Cowboys. They'll just result to envy, jealousy, hate, noise talking, because they'll never measure up to their more beautiful and more desired older sister. And that's the Dallas Cowboys.
And by the way, the Eagles franchise was founded, I believe, in 19 or 33 or 27 or something
35.
like that. 35. Oh, my goodness. Hey, Cowboys
No, you was right, 33.
Oh, 33?
No, you was right, 33.
Oh, my
Yeah.
goodness, I was right. And the
You was
Cowboys
right.
was founded in 1960. let that sink into your mind, right? You know?
Yeah.
The younger brother beating up the older brother badly.
Hey,
Yeah.
because I'm staying with Big Game James.
Yeah.
They are not our rival. We need to even stop calling them our rival. They're just a divisional.
They're not a rival.
Opponent.
Yes. Boss,
That's
you said
it.
it perfectly on your Twitter. Yep.
They're just a divisional opponent. Period. So I think if we address them right, over time they'll learn their rightful place amongst kings. Like straight up. All right. Now, what's a real rivalry though? All right. What's a real rivalry?
Great
Yes, sir.
segue.
Them birds. Not them birds, I'm sorry. Them red balls. I'm tripping.
You was doing it so good, boss.
I was
you
segueing so good,
You was
man.
saying you
Yeah,
segued
I
it
was
so
good.
good, dog. Like I even gave you like
Oh man.
you segued it perfect. I was like,
hold on,
yeah.
bro.
And then he said,
I gotta give
birds. I was
myself
like,
one.
do it.
I gotta give myself
it.
one.
You do it. Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah. I gotta give myself
He fumbled the
one, bro.
bag, man.
Fumble, bro. That was
You bit, damn it.
What?
yeah, that was sloppy. But anyway, man, No, but the real segue, man, is obviously the real rivalry is what we getting ready to face.
Right.
Going into this playoffs. And, it's been a lot of talk. I mean, it's been a lot of talk. If I even go to your Twitter, Big Game James, one of your recent tweets, this is what you said. I want to kind of lead off with this,
cute.
big dog. He said, why are people mad? The experts
I didn't mean to say it twice. Sorry.
are picking San Fran. No, it flows, bro. It flows.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to flow with it. He said, I want that. Hold on, let me say it like you wrote it. I want that. I don't like when they pick Dallas, stayed the underdog the whole way. Oh, it makes it so much better, man. Cause all I'm gonna be doing is this. Speak on that, big dog. Speak on that.
I mean, I love it because all we've been hearing right now, y'all. San Francisco, that's the team you don't want to play. They came in and played the Rams, and that line went after him. It was like a home game. You don't want to play them. They're dangerous. They're getting hot at the right time, blah, 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 blah. Just some more hate for Dallas because everybody wants to jump on that one and done. Oh, Dallas, y'all about to be one and done, So guess what? And we've seen it, y'all. We've been Dallas fans for how long, man? We've seen it. I don't want everybody picking Dallas because it just seems to me when everybody starts picking Dallas and saying we're going to do this, we don't meet up to the expectation. It's like something will always happen. When everybody's like, Dallas about to get blown out. Dallas about to lose. Guess what we do? We come in there, shark the world, and play great. So please, Cowboys, be listening to all that saying. When y'all always say, I don't be listening to social media. Y'all be lying. Y'all lying. Y'all always on social media, and y'all do be watching social media, so stop telling them lies. So if you're listening to social media, go in there and listen how they say them San Francisco Niners going to kick your butt when they come to Dallas. Go listen to everybody on ESPN and all them saying this is the worst matchup for you. Go on there and listen to everybody saying that this team is hot and they're about to make a run. Go listen to all that they're saying because, like I said, it's going to be that much sweeter when we whoop that Taz Sunday. And, boss, you said it, and I'm bouncing off of you. All we need to do is get that one victory.
Yep.
We get that one victory over the hump because that's the hump master. I'm going to blow off Law, and I'm going to let you jump on this Law here in a second.
Yeah.
Because you said the Jason Garrett-ish. We feel them feelings. So we got to get over them humpish. You feel me? And we get over that humpish, dog. When we get over that hump, all you other teams better get out the way and be very fearful because the confidence level is going to be on an all-time high, and we have our sights on 6, and I'm definitely got my sights on you Green Bay Packers. Dragon.
Woo! Flame.
Yeah, real quick, Law, I want to throw this at you because I could tell you was getting ready to hit that drum. I saw it on you, big dog. Or do you want to go ahead and hit it?
No, you show world. It's your world.
Okay. I think you go segue perfect with this one, bro, because we talked about this before the show. The 49ers have proven they can beat a top-tier team when their QB plays like trash. The same thing happened in the 2018 playoffs. Trash QB, elite defense, and run the game. What's your thoughts on that? And just us as an underdog. I want to put all of that together.
Well, here's what a lot of people do. They living in the past. They think that this is still Jason Garrett with the clipboard coaching this particular team. And if you listen, hear me out, to all of the pundits in the media, they would say the Cowboys have no chance to make it to the playoffs, right? That's the initial stance. The Cowboys would be 8-8, but then they kind of moved it and said 8-8-1, right? And then when we became better than that, then they said, well, the Cowboys can't beat an above 500 team. And then the Cowboys do that. Then they say, well, the Cowboys can't beat a team that's a playoff contender team. And then when the Cowboys do that, because the 12-5 record speaks solely of that we did that, now they say, well, it's one and done. So they keep moving the goalposts left and right. And all I think of is Dak Prescott and his playoff numbers. Yeah, they look very good, by the way. The only thing that's been hiccup within the confines of this team been the defensive side of the coin when we get into the playoff. So what do you think Dak Prescott is going to do now that he got a legitimate defense out there that's going to be able to give the ball back to the number one offense. Excuse me. Everybody talking about physicality of the 49ers. Oh, excuse me, the 49ers. Everybody talking about that. But last I checked, the Dallas Cowboys scored 530 points. Nobody in the National Football League scored that many points. The Dallas Cowboys on the defensive side of the coin is absolutely the number one defense on third down, right? And the number one defense in takeaways. You take the ball away, you give it back to the offense. Hey, the best cure to stop the run is scoring the ball. I would love to see the 49ers continue to try to run the ball when we putting money on the board. Let that sink in.
Facts. Yeah, man. I mean, when you look at this game, man, and you look at any prediction that the Cowboys will be a one-and-done team, it's really kind of ridiculous, especially when you consider their record, their offensive explosion, and the fact that this defense went from last to almost a top 10 type defense, right? Especially at the end of the year. So at the end of the day, man, when you got a bunch of dogs on defense and you got guys actually hitting their offensive lineman in the mouth and stopping the run, and that's what I think is going to happen in this game. It's going to be a commitment to stop the run. And Jimmy Garoppolo is not a big game quarterback. He is not, man. He's a game manager, and he likes to throw that ball up. And guess what? When he throw it up in the air, we go intercept it, man. And so at the end of the day, man, we go pound the rock this game, man. I'm excited about this one. We go pound the rock. We go make a lot of plays, man. And so all the naysayers, man, hey, just check us out on the post game, man. That's all I can say to you.
Yeah.
Fire.
One thing, looking at also Big Game James' Twitter, all right, going back to his Twitter, you talked about Deebo Samuels. And matter of fact, I love how you got a lot of yeah. With Miss, I want to talk to real quick about Miss Simon, real quick. Nashawn Wright's mom. You want to talk about that real quick, Law? Let everybody know what's going on.
Oh, yeah, unexpectedly, but it's good. It's a good thing. By the way, Nashawn is expecting his first child today. His wife is in labor, so it's always a beautiful thing of growing the nation. And she's about to be a grandma there. So let's wish all is well. And she's in the labor and delivery room right now as we speak. So we hope all is well. She was going to come on the show. She started off as being a diehard 49er fan, but her son was drafted by the mighty Cowboys. And now, all of a sudden, that blood that was red and gold went to this true form. Silver and blue is popping through her veins. Let's go.
Hey, Law,
Yeah.
tell her what she said, because we did talk to her right before the show. What did she say that the Bay people told her?
Hey, they finally relinquished her. And they said, we relinquish you to the mighty Cowboys. We hate to see you go.
Yeah, because she's a diehard. You know, obviously, it makes
California.
sense. She from the Bay.
Yeah.
She's from the Bay. So
Right.
She's from the Bay.
Yeah, so like that's like trying if my son played for San Fran, I'm still a Cowboy fan. I'm sorry. I'ma support my son. I'ma support you. I'ma wear your jersey, son.
Right.
But hey, you know, I'm a Cowboys fan. That's not gonna stop because my son played for another team. But she said she has been relinquished. I want to let out that news real quick.
Yeah.
So it happened right before the show too, y'all. So anyway,
right
she'll be
before
back.
the show. Yeah,
She'll be back.
you know, when that water break, you got to go. But, hey, here's the thing, though, Cowboy Nation. What I'm planning on doing, and I like to speak this into an existence here, we're going to do a pamper and wipes drive for her and her son. And we're going to start that campaign off next week. So you guys get ready, man. I want to do a pamper. Because, hey, what my old man told me, Big Game James and Boss and the OC, you ain't a man until you bought some Pampers and milk. You ain't a man until you did those two things.
You ain't lying about that.
And until you wipe a baby's butt, then you're a real man.
Then you're a real man.
For real.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, I don't know about all that, but let me go back to this real quick.
Good segment.
Yeah, going back to this real quick. Let's talk about this football. Now, see, you know, I checked out their tape, and then you talked about Deebo Samuels.
Right.
Big. I want us to kind of get that conversation going about Deebo, because when I looked at their offense, it looked like their offense is Deebo.
Yeah.
You know what I
It's all
mean?
Deebo.
Yeah,
All Deebo.
Yeah, so,
you put him on a bike.
yeah. Deebo on his way to Dallas, man. Deebo on his way, man. He got to get knocked out just like that movie Friday, man. But
we got
Deebo
Craig
on
over
his
here.
way.
Then. We got Craig.
Yeah,
and
we
the
got
brick.
Craig. We Craig. Yeah, we are Craig over here. If you don't know, go watch the movie Friday. You'll be caught up on what we talking about. But Deebo is coming. You mentioned Deebo. I want to kind of get everybody thoughts on how to stop pretty much their offense, which is Deebo. I want to kind of just go through that with everybody real quick, and let's all kind of take our time and I guess go through that real quick. What's your thoughts on? I'll start with. Let's go in the same order. Big, what you got on that, big dog?
Well, first of all, with Deebo Samuels, we see that he's like a multi-threat. I mean, he's got good size, and they're kind of using him like Mike McCarthy has used Ty Montgomery. Shanahan is that kind of gadget guy. So you can use him in a variety of ways. You've seen him in catches. He had 77 catches, but where he really started getting his real tick was that run game, him rushing the ball. He got those rushing touchdowns, and that makes him that dual threat. And Shanahan likes to use a lot of motion, and that kind of throw defenses off, because I've seen him when they were using double motion and they were giving it to Kittle's right behind Deebo Samuel. So they'll use him even as a decoy with that, just to get you to throw you off. So I think the main thing, I don't know if the Cowboys need to have a spy, but the main thing the Cowboys need to do is hold those edges. If the Cowboys can hold those edges, I feel like we'll be okay in the middle, with Gallimore back. But I think the main thing, our cornerback play, like with Trevin Diggs, Anthony Brown, and please understand why I say this, boss, OC and Law. Mm-hmm. Anthony Brown, he'll tackle. Jordan Lewis stick his nose in. I ain't saying Trevin Diggs don't, but we have to be sure tacklers this Sunday, correct? Yeah. And Trevin Diggs has to have a very good tackling game, okay? Because he has missed tackles, and he has the highest percentage of missed tackles on the season. So he has to be really good at playing those edges because they're going to be doing that. I think if we can shut those edges down where they get minimum gains, because OC brought it up when we played Arizona, right? He said, though, we're getting out on the edges late in the game. So we're going to have to definitely contain them, because this is the type of team that's going to do that. And I feel like if they can do that, start stuffing them early, putting them in long down and distance, that's when the turnovers can happen, in my opinion.
No doubt, big game, James. This is a game of linebackers. This would be a pivotal game for our linebackers. Why I say that is because you got to cover the flat area, the hook area, and they do a lot of misdirections to capture the edge and run off of that with Elijah Mitchell and so into some smoke and mirror play with number 19. And those boys, they yak boys, yards after catch. When you go back to the illustration that Big Game James posted, my guy Boss Cowboy, you see those 10 drops up there, and that's something that you got to be mindful of. Second chances, ball batted in the air, improper thrown ball. This would be a chance for LVE to solidify his role and whether or not he'll come back next year. Believe it or not, this will be the situation that he will be stuck out there to cover, and we're going to need an aggressive, angry LVE. Yeah, he got some practice reps last game with some JV squad guys, but this is going to be his full entree. I would tell you, to create pressure, it will bust pipes, and those drops also explain that, hey, when you get into the face of him, he loses a concentration. That's relates to number 19. So I'm seeing and I'm predicting that Trayvon Diggs will get an interception, that Anthony Brown will get an interception. One of those boys will be around the ball when it's thrown improperly. Now, also, when we're talking about physicality, there's one guy that's on the top of the roof that I don't mind subbing out, and I'm seeing more of another one. Instead of DeMonte KZ, I want to see a heavy dosage of Malik Hooker, Donovan Wilson, and J-Rock. Those will be my guys. Those will be my three.
Yep.
And sprinkle
like
KZ in, but not keep him in, because he's going to get ran through. You know how this go.
Yeah.
I like that, Law.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Good stuff, Law. What you got, OC?
Yeah, man. So look, in this game, it's a little bit more than Samuels. If you look at it, they try to
Right.
run this offense by committee, right?
Right.
So they will throw in Mitchell, number 25. They'll throw in Jennings, some number 15, I believe, and number 11. I forget how to pronounce his name,
Brandon Ayuk.
but they'll
Are you?
IU,
Are you?
Are you?
IU. There you go.
Ayuk.
So IU.
Are you good?
Ayuk.
so,
Are
so
you good?
you know. They'll try to get busy with him on some, 7 routes and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, this is all about winning at the point of attack. And they're going to try to run a power toss to big game James point and maintain the edges. So this to me is not only a game, to your point, Law Nation, about linebackers, but this is a game that's going to test the mettle and the technique of our defensive ends. Because we have to fight through blocks and double teams and maintain contained. We got to set the edge. And if we don't let them pop big runs outside, then we're going to end up getting these guys in third and medium and third and long. And I believe we will effectively put pressure on Garoppolo, and he's going to give up the spirit. He's gonna lay up there and he's gonna give up the spirit. He go throw up some ducks in the air and we go pick him off. Big facts on that. But listen, there's another component that has to be talked about, and it's something that we really hadn't talked about a lot. We have to be really ready from the secondary perspective of attacking and being very, very aware of the play action pass, because that's where they try to pop most of their big plays is on the play action pass. So from a safety perspective, and I don't care who's back there, we have to maintain our responsibilities if they're playing cover two, whatever type of scheme they're playing on the back end. We got to maintain integrity because that's how they get off big plays, is popping them down the field with play action pass. And if we do those things, then man, we'll be fine, man. But biggest thing to me is we got to win at the point of attack.
Right on. And when I look at Deebo Samuels, I think we do need a spy. I think it's a good idea to spy him because, when I say he's the offense, he's not the whole offense. What I'm saying is he's their main guy all day long. He's the primary guy that they're going to target in this offense. And I think we need to employ what we've been doing for some time, get our boy Diggs on him, like what we did versus Tampa. Now when he obviously in the backfield, then Diggs got to pick a side and play that corner. But when he lines up in the slot, or if he lines up in the X, then I think you want to erase Deebo, because I think that's a fantastic matchup against Deebo. Is Diggs making it real hard for Deebo? Like, I don't want, and because they do a lot of breaking routes, and that's something to me that Diggs accelerates on, especially excels on, because he has the best game speed in the league. Most people don't even know that. He was clocked with the fastest game speed time this year, even over Tyreek Hill. So with their having so much success over the middle, like you said, with play action, I think one of the things you got to do with Deebo is take away him with Diggs, just being all the way honest. Now, I did see another question. I want to run this by y'all too. All right. I like this question, and we gonna go around a circle with this one, just as we trying to figure out how to, attack San Fran. Say, what we gonna do about Kittle? Let's go in the same order.
Great question. Really good question.
Go ahead. Go. Well, you started. OC. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I got you. Okay, cool. I was trying to respect the hierarchy here. All right, so cool. So
Oh,
look,
it's all good,
Kittle,
big dog.
cool, man. Cool. So Kittle is a guy, man, that you got to put a lot of respect on his name, because he's one of, if not the most physical blocking tight end in the league, he's definitely like top 2 or top 3. And he's a guy that has a determination and an attitude and really doesn't like to go down after the catch, man. He's physical. He's a grinder. I think that you can take away his effectiveness by how physical your defensive ends and whoever's over him, let's say Michael Parsons is over him, you got to play him real physical. And I think that that's the key to really, really neutralizing him. But I don't think he's running away from anybody in our secondary. He's not running away from anybody, but we got to be ready to tackle. And we just got to be physical with this guy. I mean, at the end of the day, man, we got to meet force with force. He's a guy that's a grinder. He's a dog. straight up, and you got to meet force for force with him, and that's how you neutralize him.
I got an answer. Yeah.
J-Rock.
Oh, well, I'm gonna say something real quick, bouncing off the OC. I remember, boss. I think you like this tweet, but it's the word of the day, and I said the word of the week was physical, physicality. That was the word of the week. That's the first thing that jumped out of my heart when San Francisco won. We had to be more physical than them. And just to bounce off when you're talking about Kittles, bouncing off the OC, it is. I feel like they have to be physical. I think you're getting Curse back. You know, he had the little hamstring injury. He's nursing that back. He's one of the guys that's been a godsend for us, right?
Right.
He's he's that big safety. He's not a small guy. He's a 6'4". He's a legit 215, 220, and he plays like that. So I hopefully like to see a lot of him, even a Donovan Wilson shading over where Kittles is, because both of those guys are physical players. So bouncing off what OC says, get physical at the line of scrimmage with him. As soon as he's coming off the line of scrimmage, get up in his chest every single play. Put a body on him when he's going on his routes. Hit him early. You know what I mean? I think this has to be a game where we have to come out from the very get-go, letting them know we're going to out-physical you from the offense to the defensive line, from everything. We have to let them know we are going to be a lot more physical than you, because if we do that, I feel great, because that's what it is. It just keeps coming back in my head, boss. Physicality is the word.
Yeah, and that's why I started off with Curse, because Curse also, he was assigned to Kelsey in the Kansas City game.
Right.
Held him, did good. He was assigned to Dallas Goedert. Had Dallas Goedert all mad and frustrated. Remember on the sideline game 1, and Curse shut him down. Like, I'm not saying that Curse is go shut down Kittle, but what I'm saying is meet force with force, like the OC said. Match up. You know what I mean? Match up. We got the guy that lines up that has similar size, 6'4", just like Kittle. And we got a guy that's super fast that makes it hard on Deebo. Like, skill-wise, we match up. And I'm thinking do just like Belichick. If it's me, do just like Belichick and take your best guys, put it on their best guys, try to make guys that would have an A game have a B game or a C game, and that's going to give us an advantage.
Matchup indeed, man. Physicality, yeah, I can see that. I can absolutely see that with J-Rock. But I also want to sneak J-Rock on that LOS and get to the quarterback and maybe do some switch off responsibility, cloud it for Jimmy Garoppolo and make it difficult for him and make them run the ball and make them one-dimensional. Because if that's what they want to do, then we invite that, we embrace that, because what's going to happen when the Cowboys get the rock, we're going to score. We're going to score. We're going to push it down. Look, the linebackers for – somebody hit me up with this stat. The linebackers for the San Francisco 49ers, they collectively only have 2.5 sacks for the season. So they're not this team that goes and blitz and move these things around. They like to fall into that zone. They like to play that hook area. And I believe you can get those boys on the edge and run the rock. I believe that's what was one of the reasons why they kind of let my guy Tony Pollard rest a little bit. Tony Pollard, dare I say, averaged 5.5 yards per rush. Let me repeat, 5.5 yards per rush. What's 5 times 3, Cowboy Nation? Don't matter. It's first
50.
down. It's first down. So if as long as we run the rock and we get that, we play this type of game, they're going to try to do what they thought worked, right? Even in a slump, the Cowboys still the number one offense, dare I say. So they're going to try to replicate the blueprint and play that off and play zone or what have you and not play this thing man-to-man, right? So they're going to play the too high, and then what can get them down from that too high? Running the ball. So the moment you see that safety climb down inside, it's over with. It's over with, because Dak Prescott is going to go off of that, and he's going to hit those targets on the edge. Just watch.
I got us a fat super chat, man. I want to take this real quick.
No doubt.
This go kind of move us also into the offense, which I'm pretty sure y'all want to talk about too. Lamont said, boss, I think the key is to get to lead early. If we can jump out early on them, it's going to be an issue for Jimmy and at RPO. I think we'll start to be seen with Dak. We've been saving Dak's legs for this. I 1,000% agree with that comment. I think Dallas is getting ready to unleash all their tricks. And I think they really should do it game one. All that saving and all that bull crap. No, empty the bag. Just get your new bag week 2. Empty the bag.
Clip.
Empty the
Empty
bag.
the clip.
Let me hear, boss.
Hey, you already know.
Empty the clip.
Empty the clip.
Empty the clip.
They are going to empty the clip.
Yeah. Empty that
They
thing.
go empty the clip. They got to. They know our offense explosive. So they going to be going for it on 4th down. They going to be doing fake punts. They going to be trying to block punts. They going to be trying to do everything to try to maintain an advantage and not get that offense going. So we need to be just as aggressive. Like literally, man, we playing like this our Super Bowl.
Right.
For real.
It's sudden death game.
Sudden death game. I want to also, since we're talking about offense, if y'all don't mind, like let's talk about their offense. We can talk about Jimmy G, but I think we need to talk about Garoppolo and getting after Garoppolo, or what's the plan on Garoppolo? What's y'all thoughts? And then I want to then also take Bosa, honestly, versus La'el Collins. I want to have that discussion as well. Where y'all want to start? I'm gonna start where y'all start. Where y'all want to go?
Can we start with that offensive line against their defensive line?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
This is the OC's. This is the OC thing. So I'm just going on just my thing, and then OC tell me how to get it right. But I'm gonna just say this. This is where the game gonna be won right here. Period. I know we talk about all these other matchups, but to me, this is the main matchup right here. I'm sorry. Dallas offensive line, Joe Philbin. Go get them guys and sit them in the office. Sit them down, watch tape, do whatever you got to do. I'm not hyping this San Francisco line, but guess what? Last year when we played San Francisco, Armstead had 2 sacks. Okay?
Right.
Bosa didn't play in that game. Okay? So it's gonna be tough. Those 2 guys are animals, and Bosa stresses you every single play, and Armstead ain't no joke in that middle. And honestly, we've seen that these guys have had problems with physical teams, right? We've seen it. We've seen that happens. So we cannot come into this game with we run a couple plays and it gets stopped right quick, and then we go away from the run. And you don't have to be obvious with it. But can we see some 2-back system, something like that? But that offensive line, La'el Collins, and you said Bosa's going to be going against him.
Yep.
I think they're going to switch on both sides. I think they're going to move Bosa around. I think they're going to switch him on the side with Tyrone Smith. And Tyrone Smith does have problems with those fast rushers all coming off the edge. And only thing I'm a little concerned about, you know how Tyrone Smith, them linemen always try to come underneath them and throw their arms up to get that daggone holding penalty off of Tyrone Smith.
Yeah, because
I'm worried about the Bosa and them doing that type of stuff when we get a long game, flopping and stuff. So Cowboys, beware of those type of things, man. Y'all talk to the refs or something. Beware of those things, because I feel like they're gonna be trying to do that against us when they get off those edges. But I'm gonna give this to OC because he knows more about the offensive line than I do. But at the end of the day, that's the main matchup that Dallas has to win, that offensive line, because we got to be able to run the ball. One last stat, Dallas over 20 carries, you got 12 victories. Dallas under 20 carries, you got 5 losses.
Big facts.
Yeah, man. Great stuff, big game, James. Great stuff, man. So, I mean, here's the deal, man. This is a really interesting game, and I'm going to throw a nuance in here in about 1 minute, all right? But I'm going to say this first. You know, I obviously, well, not obviously, but let me say this. I don't like the matchup of Collins versus Bosa, right? I don't like it at all, because Bosa is he's elite, man. He's explosive, and Armstead is explosive, and they have an underrated nose tackle in there, number 94. He's pretty explosive. This is a very, very attack-style defensive line, so I'm going to show them their respect before I tell you how we go beat them, all right? So this is how we beat them. You double team inside versus those defensive tackles. You bring Sprinkler in the game. okay? Not Schwartz. You bring Sprinkler, number 87, the tight end that we have. That's the most physical tight end inline blocker. You line him up next to wherever Bosa is, preferably next to Collins, and you double team Bosa. You wear on Bosa. Another key is scheme, all right? Scheme. We cannot run slow developing run plays. If you run slow developing run plays versus this team, they will eat you up because these are upfield guys. They're trying to blow past you and get to the quarterback and tackle the running back on the way, right? It's a true 4-3 type attack style defense. So how you deal with that is you have a nice mix of Pollard running jets, running quick tosses, running dives, running quick ISO plays up the middle. This is not the time that you can jive. You got to hit that hole and you got to go this week. You got to go. But here's the monkey wrench. And this is what I see that'll be very effective, even if initially we don't run the ball well. Attack these corners one-on-one. They cannot cover our wide receivers. So that's our fail-safe. If we struggle running the football, we need to attack their corners one-on-one. These boys play off, they play soft. They don't have a chance in Hades to cover Coop, to cover Lamb, and I will even say Wilson to give them problems. So we can throw the ball underneath in that soft zone. They don't like to get beat over the top, so they're going to give ground. We can work the comebacks, the crossing routes, the out routes, the 7 routes, the underneath routes all day long. And Kellen cannot be shy about opening this thing up with quick timing passes and pulling the trigger. If we do that, either way, we win the game.
Did you have some, Law?
Man, I don't even have to say anything. They just took all the fire from them, man. Hey, just rewind and listen to the OC and Big Game James. I don't have nothing to say. No rebuttal. But I did read some comments here, and hey, shout out to Bosa and shout out to Armstead and Fred Warner. Those three right there, that triangle of defense of guys that fly out to the ball. Shout out to those boys. But like my guy said, come on, those DBs, it's time to roast them. Let's go.
Let's get it. When I was definitely studying this team, one of the things that obviously stood out is what the OC was saying, that the corners and the linebackers honestly don't hold up well against the pass, and they are very tough against the run. I definitely want them to test that gut, commit to going to that run, but also their true weakness is also beating them in the air. I also noticed that, especially versus the Rams, is that they definitely struggled against tight end sets greatly. And so as I'm looking at some of the data, our offense was at its best when we lost Gallup at the start of the season, okay? And we started to run way more 12 personnel to create less stress on Dak, all right? So one of the things that happened from that is we became obviously the number one offense, and Dak was an MVP candidate when we had this style of offense. One of the things that they talked about with the ramping up of the 12 was that the Cowboys can be a much more punch you in the mouth type of offense rather than a zone-based team they are in other personnel groups. So when I've been thinking about this, and I've been thinking about, us actually having the advantage of Jarwin back, giving us that 12 personnel with Sprinkle, I start thinking, okay, what was the offense when we were 6-1? A lot of people talk about Connor Williams playing the left guard. A lot of people talk about us having a 12 personnel.
I know where you're going.
Talking about Gallup being. Yeah, you do know where
I know where you're going. I know where you're going.
That's why I didn't want to go. I didn't want to say it.
All right, he set it up. As soon as he said, I already knew it. I already knew it.
Is there a problem with me going here? Is there a problem?
No, it's not a problem because you're right. It's not a problem at all. It's not a problem
because I'm dealing with
because OC said something and you're bouncing off of it.
Exactly. Right. That's what I'm doing. I'm bouncing off of it. I know, and it's a fight. But I just want to be honest. I do want to be honest. When was our offense the best? We are low-key positioned back to when we was at our best. Cedric Wilson taking over for Gallup, right? That's a good thing, y'all. Come on now. Cedric Wilson is looking like he Dak friendly. Let's tell the truth.
This is no diss on Gallup, and just bouncing off of you, boss. This is, and I know we all can say it. OC, Law, boss. We can all sit there and say this is no diss on Gallup.
It's no
But
diss.
that post that you did, I did that post because I seen it in there too, boss. The 12 and 11 personnel last year.
Yes.
And they were talking about when we ran that 12 personnel last year, how much more effective Dak was.
Yep.
And when we split out and we went in 11 personnel, it stressed him because it took out an extra blocker. It took out more of a protection for him, and he became more where he was forcing the ball. And I just feel like Cedric Wilson is the natural slot guy. Gallup is not.
Woo.
They were trying to remember in the training camp, they were like, we're going to move Gallup some more in the slot. And he was saying, I'm getting more time in the slot. But he's not a natural slot guy. So now that he is out, now you have a natural type offense. You got CD on the out. You can still slide him in. You got Coop, who you know he can do. But the biggest thing to me, fellas, is Cedric Wilson don't need the ball. And I said one thing about this. They're playing in contract years, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
How do we know that Gallup wasn't pressing? You don't think he sat out and was looking Cedric Wilson turning up?
Yeah.
And so when he came back, maybe they pressing the offense. Maybe Dak looking at Gallup, contract year, I got to get you the ball. This thing is real. In my opinion, these ain't robots. Maybe those things came into play. Now, you don't feel that force because Cedric Wilson don't need the ball. You get what I'm saying?
Totally.
You don't need to force the ball to know Cedric Wilson, and he's cool with not even saying nothing about it. You feel me?
Facts.
That's why he's so good, because ain't nobody expecting it when you throwing it to Amari and CD. The next day you know you sleeping on Seti and he hit you for a 60-yarder.
Bingo.
No doubt. Hey,
So
go to
Hey, I
my.
love being a Cowboy.
Big game change.
Game changer.
Let's have some fun. Let's have a good time, man. Let's kick it.
So real quick, early in the year, I think at least Boss Cowboy owe me an apology for this. Okay.
Okay.
Early in the year, when Gallup was injured, okay, and I said how well Wilson was playing. Oh, there you go. There you go. Wait a second. I said the OC said how well Wilson was playing, and Boss, you hated on me to death. You hated on me to death. And I said on this show, I said it was no drop off. But all of a sudden, bandwag Wilson. Okay, fine, forget it. That's okay, bro. You ain't got to give me credit. I just want to say that real quick. I just want to say that.
That
The
boy
OC
good.
said this early in the season, okay? First of all. All right, I'm back. Go ahead.
Hey, but let's
remember
preface this
that
though.
fight. We
Let's
did have a
preface
fight on
this
that.
just
You
a
was
little
right.
bit. Let's preface this just a little bit.
You was right, dog.
There's no shade at Gallup, by the way. Gallup, I believe, is a red zone threat. He can high point the ball.
No
and
shade.
And then no shade, because we got to say that because we got our fans that's kind of like, you said that lie by Gallup.
You know what? Yep. You got to say that about every player, certain players.
Yeah, you got to do it about every player. but Boss
You got to
Cowboy,
say it about Zeke. You got to say it about certain players.
Right.
We ain't talking about you.
You
We ain't talking about you because it's gonna get back on Twitter.
Right.
This is the deal. Can I just say what I see and then y'all tell me and then I'm gonna finish my point because Big AJ stole my point. That's okay though.
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
No, this get us going though. I knew this was gonna
Forgive
get
me.
us going too. No, you good, my dog. But Michael Gallup and Cedric are different receivers. That's all. That's
Right.
all it is. They're just different types, and some fit certain quarterbacks better. Just be honest. The term Dak friendly came about because people noticed that he did better with route runners. He likes a certain kind of look that gives him confidence in his throws. When you win on your routes, Dak throws the ball better. Period. So when you're dealing with a Gallup, you're dealing with somebody where he'll do better with a touch quarterback, like a Aaron Rodgers or Romo. That's why Dez fit Romo so good, and he didn't quite fit Dak as good. People that
Great
really
point.
fit Dak are the
Great
route
point.
guys.
Kobe.
That's why Bryce Butler, even though like his routes was decent enough to where he connected with Dak, and had him thinking he was the number one.
Man.
Hey,
boy.
Bryce Butler, shout out to
Lord
him. He
have
listened to
mercy.
the show too. Shout out to Bryce Butler.
But he did
Shout
think
out
he
to you,
was the
Bryce.
number one, dog. Like
He definitely said that.
But it was more so, in my opinion, his style fit Dak. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's one of those things to where, yeah, it's no shade. It's just our offense is better when you got a guy, in my opinion, that gives your quarterback confident looks. Right. Now, I was actually segueing to another point because I knew that was going to be, but I was recapping in my mind because I'm honestly thinking about solutions, being all the way honest. I'm dead serious about this. It's not about trying to be right, but let's just all be fair and honest. We are going back to those days when our offense was rolling, when we were 6-1. Cedric was in place, right? He was in place. Lael Collins was in place, right? It was somebody else that was in place that had this whole thing working. Come on, man. Let's stop playing these games, bro. Let's stop playing these games, man. I'm dead serious. Because we had one guy already show up on the Bosa before. Yeah. His first game was against the Bosa. I ain't lying.
Bone crusher.
Yeah, I ain't lying. Listen.
Bone crushing it.
See, because we playing this game, we want to be right so bad that now we got Lael Collins standing out there getting ready to go against Bosa.
Did you see what Milton Williams did to him?
Yes, I did.
Did you see what Milton Williams did?
Yes, I saw it, Big.
Oh my God!
But we was high on Milton Williams though. Me and Big Game Jam, we were high on him off the drive.
Oh yeah, we was high
on him too.
We wanted. Remember, Law? We wanted Milton Williams.
Yeah, that was a good pick. No, Milton Williams. That was a great pick by Philly.
Philly
matter of fact, my dog trained him. Big B.
Yeah.
He trained him in the combine and stuff. So he was already working with him. So we was like, we
gonna get him.
But Lord, when he did that to Leo, I said, oh, wow.
And see,
he picked him up and laid him down softly.
That's what I'm saying. We ain't got no. See, that's why this debate don't need to be about who right. It needs to be about who the best. Who the best?
You so right, boss. Hey, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna give y'all shout out. I was on the show with George T. I'm give you shout out OC and boss. Y'all was beating the damn nail on the head. There ain't even no head on the nail no more. Y'all was beating that thing so damn hard. It went all the way through the wood, and man, it was beating the hell out of it. But you know what, y'all right though. Yep. I mean, and when I just keep watching it, and I see these little things every week. I'm not an offensive lineman, but dog, you don't got to be an offensive lineman to see what's going on right there. Okay. Right. That's more than once that Leo's getting beat like that. Mm-hmm. More than once, and not just him, folks.
Mm-hmm. It's not just Smith. It's Tyrone Smith.
Tyrone Smith is getting that work on them edges, dog. Like we can't run away from this no more, man.
We can't
run away.
Not seeing what we
always. You know, it's always, hey, boss, OC, Law. You know how NFL player getting a Pro Bowl like every single year, and he ain't even had the greatest year, but they just put him in because of reputation. Right. They put him in because of reputation. I feel like Tyrone Smith, and this is somebody I got to apologize. So I'm sorry, everybody out there. Please don't get on my page and say, what the F you talking about?
Don't be sorry.
Don't be sorry, Big.
But guess what?
Don't be sorry.
Tyrone Smith. He ain't that same guy no more. And every time he get hurt, we're always like, wait till Tyrone Smith get back. Wait till Tyrone Smith back at. I seen him in that Arizona game, and Chandler Jones was giving him that work, dog. I don't care what nobody telling me. Chandler Jones was giving him that work. And guess what? The last time we played him, Chandler Jones gave him work. You feel me? And that was years ago. That's something that we need to look at with our two offensive tackles, and I'm going to just give y'all the props, man. Y'all was right on that right tackle. This ain't about right, and that's why they're staying with him at right tackle, because they don't want to look like we're wrong, because they switched him years ago at right tackle, and they don't want to go back and say, you know what? We probably should have left him at left guard. They don't want to say it. They don't want to do it. And that's the only reason why he is not going back to guard. It's got to be because Terence Steele, hey, dog, I'm so sorry, Terence Steele. I'm looking in this camera. I am so sorry. I said you wasn't going to do it. I said this preseason, man, what are we doing? Me and man, I'm gonna give me and Boss credit right here. I'm gonna give me and Boss solely credit because we was talking about you in the Senior Bowl.
Yep,
we was talking about you.
Yeah,
Boss mentioned you and said, "Hey, Terence still gonna be a good player." And I said, "You know what? I think so too because we had a player that left that Atlanta game that got killed, and everybody was trying to say, you know." this won't be this kind of version of a guy. He's going to get better. Even though he's kind of getting worked in the Senior Bowl, he's going to get better. And you saw that, boss. I'm going to give you 100% props. You said Terence still going to be a player. I know you don't see it now, but he isn't. We both said we saw characteristics, and now he's fulfilling them. He's the better option at right tackle. Plus, because he's more athletic right now than La'el Collins, dog.
bro.
He can move. He can move down the field. He can move, and he's using his strength. Dog, La'el Collins can't do that no more, bro. And if he's on Bosa, like OC said, bro, you better put a tight end on him all game, like OC said, because he cannot be one-on-one. And even with Tyrone Smith, they can't be leaving the one-on-one matchups, dog, because they're going to get it.
And that's what we get for all them lies, bro. It was a lot of lies told on Steele. All out lies. I'm almost done, OC. It was all out lies told on Steele. Lies. L-I-E-S's. Lies. They were saying he was getting one-on-one help when he played against Bosa. That was a lie. We proved it.
With the film.
We showed all his pass pro clips. He didn't get no help. But guess what they saying they likely gonna have to do versus Bosa? They gonna have to help La'el. That's gonna tie a little bit of your offense behind his back. Just being all the way honest.
Keep it 100.
And we really but it's not even just him. Because I don't want to over focus on this. It's also I want us to commit to that 12. Yeah. That's another thing that had that.
We gotta commit to it.
We gotta commit to that 12 and commit to the running game. So I was talking about it all, not just even that matchup. I was talking about what had us rolling. Like it was a combination of a lot of things. It was the 12 personnel.
Right.
It was still at right tackle. It was also Connor Williams at left guard. Let's give him his props.
Right.
You know what I mean? He played pretty.
Let's give him his flowers.
Let's give him his flowers.
Right.
He got the penalty.
Even though he just had another holding penalty.
Yeah, 3 of them.
That joke was like going for the record. Y'all bench me. I was going for the record. Y'all bench me.
We had Cedric Wilson. We had Cedric Wilson, right?
Yep.
So most of that we got back.
Right.
The things that we got to implement, in my opinion, is Steele and the 12.
There's no way, man, Cowboys
dog.
going to bench Steele. That's what I said in my previous video when I went live.
Steele gotta play, y'all.
Baby. You know.
He got to play, man. He's playing physical, dog. He just looked like a totally different player, bro.
Check this out. This is a good question. Is it too late to put Steele at right and throw Collins at guard?
It's not. I don't think it is. You tell me, OC. Is it? Is it too late?
Let me say this. I don't think it's too. I don't think it's too late. I don't think it's too late to put Steele back at right tackle. Absolutely not. He's efficient water.
Yeah,
right?
Efficient water.
The issue would be putting La'el at left guard
right now. That would be.
That's a little too much.
Let me ask you, OC. Let me ask you this, OC, because I just had Solomon Page on the show. Go check out that video, selfish plug. I just had Solomon Page, used to be an offensive lineman with the Cowboys, and he played left tackle and switched over to right guard and right tackle and didn't even play left tackle in the league, just played right guard and right tackle. And I asked him, does it stress you from going from like an opposite side tackle to a guard? He said it was cool with him because he said, I ain't care. I was just making sure I ain't be the weak link because I had all dogs with me, so it was okay with me. It didn't stress my body. Other people says it does. Would it stress his body, OC, for him to go from right tackle to left guard for this run?
No, I'm not worried about it stressing his body because he's naturally a road grader. He's naturally a physical, want to pound you type player. He's really good, just straight line coming off the ball, trying to push you back. That's where La'el Collins excels. Where he doesn't excel is moving backwards and side to side. Okay?
And he's left-handed.
It's not that. And he is left-handed. So it's not that, but it's him understanding the calls and him having enough reps with the interior sets not to get beat quick off the ball by upfield pass rushers, right? And him to have his footwork together so he doesn't do silly stuff and get beat inside and get plays blown up. That's what I'm concerned about. So if he hadn't been practicing there for at least a couple weeks, I wouldn't put him inside a left guard this game. But let me say something back to your point, Boss Cowboy, because I got a couple solutions, okay? Right, First of all, the OC did say before the draft that we need to draft a tackle.
Right.
I said we need to draft a tackle because we need to have depth for aging Tyrone Smith. And so, no shade on Smith. He's one of the all-time greats. He's a great tackle, but surgeries and injuries take their toll on your body. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter. And so you only got so many good games in you. Old guy told me that when I was playing in college, man. He had played in the league and played at my university. He said, look, man, do everything you can to play as long as you can because you only got so many good games in your body, right? And so Smith is beginning to come to the level of he's almost at the amount of really good games that he has in his body. That's what I believe. So you got to shore that up. But with the 12 personnel, this is what this does for the offense. A, it makes Dak more comfortable. Because remember, when Dak took over for Tony Romo, this was really a run-first offense, play-action pass. Right. So when Dak cut his teeth his rookie year, that's what Dak was doing, okay? So he's extremely comfortable in that mode. And it gives him more time. And it gives him a cleaner pocket than going to 11 personnel. But also, you can use it like this. And I mentioned this on me and Boss Cowboy show, Boss Cowboy Sports, on yesterday. With 12 personnel, you can work the middle of the field and dominate it with Jarwin and Shorts. And you can force one-on-one matchups outside because you have to begin to account with the interior hash if you throw the ball to either one of those guys. And last point, before I get off this train, is this. Wherever you're having problems in pass protection, you have the option to release both tight ends, but do it this way. You can chip and release and free release another guy, okay?
Listen to that, y'all.
Or you can hold. You can hold, and release. And get extra time to Dak Prescott.
Hold on, you not finished, big dog? You not finished, big homie?
No, go ahead. I'm good.
Well, he was laying down the law, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was
he was laying it down.
Man, that was the wrong button.
Hey, anyway, we still go show that I was trying to hit your
dropping
field
it,
session,
you dropping it.
Listen, I gotta fix
boss.
this button. But you was talking about attacking the middle, and you was talking about these tight ends attacking. So here's some film breakdown, so the OC can kind of go through that real quick. Here you go. Can you see it, OC? Or you still blind?
Man, I cannot see it, man. So you got to break it down because I still got a black screen, man. I'm solo dolo over here.
I got it. All right.
Okay,
so when you look at Jarwin, I got it, big bro. Jarwin is somebody, when you watch him and you watch how the Dallas Cowboys use him, he's very effective at attacking those soft spots. That's the thing I love about, honestly, I swear to God, him and Dalton Schultz. Both of them dudes are ferocious, and they post up guys, especially Blake. So even when he's covered, he's not covered. I'm gonna show that. So, and that's the advantage of this 12 personnel. It gives a whole different comfort zone to Dak. I'm being all the way honest. Dak and they intuitive on finding those soft spots. Like, look how quick everybody, Big Game James Law, OC, look how quick he settled down in that zone. And Dak finds him quick. And they do that all day long. And we haven't seen this except when Dak was at his hottest. And listen, I've been watching these guys ever since I've been studying that 12. This is a perfect example of look at that coverage that's on Blake Jarwin. You can't draw a man closer than that. You couldn't draw somebody closer than that, and he's still able to post them up, right, and make that body catch, you know? So and then if you go look at Schultz, it's the exact same thing in terms of those guys have amazing feel for finding those soft zones, and they to me they better than the receivers at finding those open pockets. They real quick with it, and Dak is also quick with it. They are in tune, and they just walk downfield, to be all the way honest with you. So when we talking about 12 and what the OC was talking about, attacking the middle of the field, you seeing it all day out there. 12. I all the way echo what the OC is saying in terms of the advantages of that 12 and what we should do on San Fran. You got some on that, Big?
Yeah, I just want to bounce off of that. One of the things I think the reason why that 12 personnel was so good too, let's be honest. Do we think those defenses were scared of Jeremy Sprinkle? No. Do we think those defenses were sitting there scared of Sean McKeon, that was a second-year or first-year player from Michigan?
No.
Okay? They weren't worried about them. So as soon as Blake Jarwin went out, guess what? Now they started concentrating on Dalton Schultz. That middle shrunk down. that window that Dak was having, where he could have that comfort zone, like you were saying, boss. It went away with the Blake Jarwin. Even if he's not throwing to Blake Jarwin's a threat every time.
Right.
Jeremy Sprinkle's not a threat every time.
Right.
Dak's not, but don't have a rapport with him. Dak don't have a rapport with Sean McKeon. They're just coming in and probably maybe get some blocks. They're not getting passes. You feel me? And the defenses know when they come in the game, they're probably going to try to block. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it takes an option away. And like you said, it makes Dak, I don't feel as comfortable. And when you got Blake and Dalton Schultz in there working that inside, both of them you have to respect. And you have to respect Blake Jarwin up that seam. You have to respect him up in that seam because he be killing and cooking you. And so once that cooking in that middle starts, then Cooper, Lamb, those digs, those crossing routes. I mean, all those things kind of flow together. But having Blake Jarwin, just like you said, boss, is huge for that 12. Man. I mean, that 12 personnel was everything, dog. Man, it stood out to me when you showed that article. That I was reading that article like at the beginning of the year. I'm like, yeah, man, I was noticing that last year.
Right.
And then I just watched it all at the beginning of the year. I'm like, yo, man, they was kind of right on that. Write that article right there. Because that article was like damn near at the beginning of the year.
It was right up to about week 6, week 7. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Big facts. And they were talking about how it was a firing off. Yeah. And it was just like, man, PFF, a lot of people get on PFF, but this article, they hit that one on the money. This was 100%.
Every now and then they do their homework, you know.
Yeah, and I say this.
Every now and then they do their homework.
Let
me
give
their
people
homework
the
on this
balance
one.
on PFF. Don't trust PFF on grades. But when they do
right.
stuff like how many times were you in the nickel, how many times were you in a 12 personnel, that type of stuff you can measure yourself. So you can actually kind of trust that type of data. That's the key to PFF. So when they got stuff like where you can see, okay, they ran 11 personnel in 2020, 79% of the time. Yeah, we know that's true because that was Kellen Moore being pass happy. But when we lost Gallup, he had to go with that 12 because it was just as good, and we went down to 55%. But then PFF, to Big Game James' point, actually broke down the effect of the offense, and it was through the roof. And it was just with a ramp up.
It was crazy.
And it was just ramping it up. We didn't even go crazy with 12. We took it. We took it from about 20% of our total snaps to about 30-40%. But that also gave us way better play action. They gave us way better runs. It took a lot of pressure off of Dak. And I'm going to be honest, Dak and those 12 guys, they look like New England. They look like they that. Can I be honest? They look like they in touch.
Yes.
So, like, it's a whole lot that we can do going against San Fran that can just.
Yoga, fire. Yoga,
give your own damn self for that.
Yeah.
Oh, give myself what?
Get your own fire yourself. Yeah.
Perfect.
Sure, I give myself a perfect.
Yeah. Give yourself a perfect on that one. That's good stuff.
Yeah, man. But that's what we looking at right now. So, but we close. The good news is this, though. I don't want people to kind of get all butthurt over Laia because I swear y'all get on my goddamn nerves when it comes to Laia.
Man, they so butthurt over him.
On my damn nerves.
Him and Smith, like they.
Yeah, when it comes, it's two people that divide the nation like I've never seen.
If
you talk about Connor Williams, you talk about Lael, if you talk about T. Smith, they gonna put a gun to your head or Dak.
Right.
Them 4 people.
You left out Ezekiel, man. Come on, man.
Zeke.
Oh yeah, you can't talk
Zeke
about
too.
Zeke.
You
Yeah, you cannot talk about no Ezekiel.
You can't talk about Zeke.
Oh no, you can't talk about Zeke, dog.
No,
you can't go hard on him. You can't go hard on him. You can say a few things about Zeke, but you can't go hard on him.
You can't give no analysis on Lael. You can't talk about where he is because it's gonna just divide the fan base. He bulletproof. He can come in out of shape. He can be suspended by his own damn thoughts and what he decided he wanted to do. He can do whatever he want to do, and the fan base be like, you better not touch him. Don't you dare. Don't you touch him, boss. Stop talking about it.
What's so funny? What's so funny about it, boss, is everybody was like, you can't move him from left guard. You can't move him from he can't make it at no right tackle. Now they like, you can't move him back to left guard. He got to stand right there. I'm like, man, come on, man. Y'all gonna make up your mind. It's like I said, y'all, I keep on coming back to it. Y'all 100% right, bro. This is about pride. This is about ego. This pride and ego.
Yeah,
that's
that's what
the
it is.
only reason why he is at right tackle. It's
That's
pride and ego. Terence Steele has played better than Lyle Collins in 2021. Period.
Facts. Now, I do want to say this for everybody that gets so butthurt. He has at least closed the gap.
Yeah, he did. He did come back.
I want
to
to be
better,
balanced with that as well.
Closed the gap.
So
He
not
closed the
saying
gap.
he bad. He's good. He's decent.
Yeah.
But he is not better. That's it. And that's so I just want to kind of bring balance.
They just looking at that contract, boss.
Could be.
Now, I'm trying to
even
win the
know
game.
Think about it. Look, come
I don't
on.
even
Let's
think
keep
it's
it
that.
real. If he didn't have that money, would we be screaming? Think about it. If he wasn't getting paid $9 million or $10 million a year, he'd be out.
50 million.
He'd be out. He'd be
50.
out. That money is keeping him right there, right tackle too, because they're gonna be saying, you know, they were sitting there like, we can't. Terrence still make $888,000. This man making $10 million. He's sitting the bench. Come on, y'all.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, but you got to do what you got.
That's fact.
Man. You got.
That's fact because look, after this year, here's what most people don't know, and that's why I think this is such a critical year. After this year is when Collins' contract kicks up to that $10 million a year average for the last 3 years of his contract. After this season. After this season, he gets to that $10 million a year average where they owe him after this season another $30 to $33 million.
And I got hope in him.
Yeah.
I just hope that he played left guard. Straight up.
Me too. Me too.
Just being real.
The hope is because Connor Williams is up. Yeah,
Right.
Gonna probably resign. Be smart, Dallas.
Thank
Connor
you.
Williams is up at left guard. You're gonna have a gap right there at left guard. You're gonna have the gap. Draft another left guard too, but put Collins right there and draft a backup or somebody and put your boy right there on right tackle. You got a left tackle you drafted and drive Josh Ball, and you can probably get somebody else. But you got to rebuild this offensive line because I don't want to hear nobody saying, and this ain't no diss to my Cowboys. I love my team. We ain't going to be sitting here saying this is the Great Wall of Dallas no more.
Yoga fire. Yoga flame.
And I'm gonna give you guys some bonus material. Oh, there it is. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I got to hit all the buttons. I had to hit all the
Boy,
buttons, bro.
smash
I had to hit
everything.
every one. That boy Big Game
Hulk
J just
smash.
went hard. I had to hit every one of them buttons.
But I'm gonna give some bonus material right here. You know what you mentioned the Patriots, Boss Cowboy. You know what will be a very Patriot thing to do that the Cowboys are not gonna do. By the way, I'm gonna go on record. They ain't gonna do this. But you know what a super smart thing to do?
What would that be?
If they went ahead after this season and extended Steele, extend him now.
Ooh, that
He's
would
proven
be-
himself.
Yes.
Year 1, year 2, you can get him
Get
on
him
the
white
cheap.
cheap.
Extend him now.
Yes, OC. That's
Extend him now, but they ain't. But they gonna let his market value go
Nope,
up. They
they
ain't
go-
gonna extend him now. But
Yep,
they should.
and-
Right, stop.
Smart.
OC.
That you man.
I need
OC,
a button that
that's-
say bruh. I do have
Yeah.
one.
Well,
I just
well,
don't-
well, you just
Shut
got to
up.
be careful. They did Tyrone Crawford like that, Cowboy Nation. You know, they extended him before his time. Remember?
Yeah, he's a different animal though, man. Because Tyrone
but
Crawford was a one-sack guy. He was a one-sack guy when they extended him, man. That's the issue.
Hoping that
He
they-
had
And
one
was
good
never,
season.
and he was never a big sack guy, even when they had him at defensive end. The reason why they gave
Right.
him that money, they messed up by keep moving him. They gave him the money when he was turning up at tackle. That's where you should have just left him there because he was never turning up at defensive end, and we all knew that. He was almost guy, almost got there.
Yeah, almost. Yep. I just had to point that out though. You know, just in case. You know.
For sure,
I got a couple of more things I want to start this off with, Law. I think we got a tremendous opportunity with Jimmy. I really do. I think we got us a big opportunity, bro. And Law, you got to kick this off.
Oh yeah.
I think this man is the key. I think this man, starting with him and Randy Gregory and Michael Parsons, I really do feel like they the key. I want to get your thoughts on getting after Jimmy.
That's the key. Make him one-dimensional, of course, and force the turnover takeaway. And I believe the pressure bust pipes, and that will be through the pressure that D-Law will exhibit out there. I think that D-Law is so underrated as it relates to stopping the run and setting the edge and containing. That's what he's going to do against these 49ers. He's going to set the edge, and then on top of that, when they kick him inside, watch he win his one-on-ones, and they move Parsons everywhere along that LOS, and you think that he's going to be covering the slot, the sides where as it relates to Elijah Mitchell's or what have you, but he's going to be coming in streaming off that edge to make that sack and that pressure. And by the time you got that under control, that's when Randy Gregory blazed everybody up on the opposite side. So I like those three-headed trifecta monsters. I can't wait to do a film assessment on those guys against this game. And I'm not trying to outspeak my wisdom teeth, but I'm just telling you guys right now that is what's going to happen against those 49ers. That's what's going to happen.
What's your thoughts on that, Big?
My bad. I had to get my mic, man. Sorry about that. Bro, how many times have we seen these quarterbacks that ain't got no mobility be running for their lives?
A lot.
Huh? I seen them guys. See them runners. They feel like they got a little juice, dog. When you seen like Sam Darnold and them and Michael Parsons was getting close to them, they was running for their lives, throwing the ball in the dirt. Travis Heineke. Now I know that he's probably on a little higher level than them, but bro, he ain't got no mobility. And Michael Parsons been out how long? Been out a week. He chomping at the bit.
Yeah, he
chomping at the
He can't
bit.
wait, bro.
He can't wait to get up after some Jimmy Garoppolo. DeMarcus Lawrence and them can't wait to get up after you, dog, because they know you ain't got no mobility. The offensive line, it ain't the greatest. 49ers offensive line ain't the greatest. Yeah, they did a little double teaming on some Aaron Donald, but bro, this is what I said about their defensive line. Yeah, they had Aaron Donald and they were double teaming him. But when they got Von Miller, they got him mid-season. He ain't been with that team all year. They were trying to bring him in. So I feel like there wasn't that cohesion. Dallas got cohesion on that defensive line. Dallas has the players who know each other. So there ain't going to be this waiting on each other. They know each other. They know how to attack. So like you said, Garoppolo going to be in trouble. And one of the things I want to say as well is Cowboys had all those turnovers, one of the tops in the leagues. They have to do it in the playoffs. You can't be doing that all in the regular season, right, fellas? And then the defense can't get those turnovers in the playoffs. They got to get those turnovers in the playoffs. And in getting turnover early against Garoppolo, I think that may jump in his head.
Big facts.
Facts. Yeah, man. So here's a couple unsung heroes that I expect to have really big games. And I expect Michael Parsons and I expect Randy Gregory to be solid, but I really expect Michael Parsons and D-Law to really dominate, especially when they get in third and long. But here's two guys that I think are going to win inside versus this offensive line, and that are going to really be the difference makers for us. Okay? Osa is going to play well, and Tristan Hill is going to play well in this game, guys. Mark my words. They go play well, and they go create some mismatches, and they go win one-on-one inside, man, and stop some runs for tackles for losses. And so that's my prediction, man, and how I think it's really going to go down, because when you can't step up in the pocket, it makes it easier for the edges to get to you. And I think that those guys will play really, really well in particular, because Tristan Hill is starting to pick it up, and I think he's going to win one-on-one. I think he's going to have a great playoff game.
No doubt.
Now, I want to say one thing with that OC, and then you jump in there, Law. I don't want to see them. I feel what you're saying, OC, but I don't want to see them together in the run game. I don't want to see them both in the middle in the run game, because Philly was kicking that Taz. They double-teamed Osa, and they was moving him out the way.
Get out of the way.
Moving him out the way. Tristan Hill is not big enough now, so I don't want to see them two in the rotation together in the middle.
And this
Keep
how
it
you know
with the
Big not BSing
Gallimore.
on that.
You know what I'm saying? Keep
he
it with.
tweeted that.
You know how much I love some Tristan Hill, but I don't want to see them two. Nope. I need to see that Gallimore, that Watkins, or mix the Gallimore with the Osa, or them two, but don't have them two in the middle, man, because they was getting the business in that Philly game.
And I want to
need some big help in
real quick, Law, real quick. Give me 1 second, because I want to just kind of show that Big said that 22 hours ago. So you know he ain't making that up on the fly. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's also why, Law, and then I'm going to pass it to you. I actually want to kind of sideways take what the OC was saying, but change the player a little bit. I think the key really is going to be this guy, Neville. You know, I think especially with the running style of those running backs, when I watch the running style of those running backs, they one-cut runners. They're not patient like Zeke. They take the positive gains. They more so like they run like Murray. You know, Murray was a hit the hole type of back. He wasn't a patient back. He was go just take the gains and be greedy for the gains. That's how San Fran run that ball. So you got to clog up your holes and you got to leave no running lanes with this type of team. You know what I mean? And I think the person that makes it hardest to get to that next level is Neville. I think Neville is the key to this game, to be honest. I think he's the centerpiece of this game, and he got to play his best one-tech game, in my opinion, you know?
No doubt.
And then I think if you do combine him with Tristan Hill and Osa, that's a lot better to Big Game James concerned. I think Big Game James hit that on the head.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Yeah, I like them though, guys. Then this is where I like them. Not so much in the run game, but one-on-one pass pro, third and long. I think those guys gonna win one-on-one. I think all three of them gonna win one-on-one.
I think, but
That's
see,
what I'm
this the thing,
saying.
man. Them boys gonna run that ball at us. I think Big Game James a little bit right, man. If we don't stop that run, man, forget that pass. We gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. A lot of people. I was reading some of the comments there. A lot of people were saying, "Well, hey, you guys spoke the same thing about the Denver Broncos, and they came in here and ran." But I have to remind everyone, Neville, he didn't play in that game, nor did D-Law played in that game, and Tristan Hill as well. So you look at all of those things. Now you free up Parsons, the 4-3. You just can't create that yourself. That's something God give you, right? So that 4-3 that Parsons exhibit, he's going to be able to now free up and sniff out the runner, blow up the screen passes that they try to do, because they do a lot of that as well. And all of that motion stuff, that's just fluff before the snap. Now you have J-Ron Curse, who's going to be freed up. So it goes back to this point here. D-Law setting the edge, making containment. And when you have the mixture of Neville Gallimore, let me give his monster call right quick. When you have him into the mix, that Gallimore, that's just a monster, you know what I'm saying? And he's just going to just get there to you. And when you make them one-dimensional, baby, it's over with, baby.
Hey, please hit that button one more time. God.
Oh, shoot. You let him out now, baby. Shoot.
Is that the Gallimore monster?
That's the Gallimore.
God, Lord, boy, listen. I do want to
the Gallimonster.
Gallimonster.
One more. I think we got a serious chess match that I want to discuss before we get into our final word for real this time.
He needs some milk.
We finna have us a serious chess match. Between these guys. Because I'm going to say this, Shanahan, you cost this man a Super Bowl. Yes, I said it. You cost that man a Super Bowl. I can't wait to see that matchup. What's your thoughts on that chess matchup before we get into the final word?
Big Gang, go get it, man.
Well, both of them choke, right?
Oh, I think more so Shanahan choke, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, you probably right. But the team fell off after a couple years with Day. I'm just saying.
Fell off a cliff.
I'm just saying, man.
To keep it all the way real, though. I love it.
Like, you feel me? So listen, Dan Quinn, if you go take another job and you fail, then you a defensive coordinator. That's all I wanted to say.
That's right.
Because you can't fail at two jobs as head coach, and then you a defensive coordinator, Wade Phillips.
Facts.
I just want to say that.
That's facts.
But we talking about this chess game. I said it. I think Kyle Shanahan gonna throw the kitchen sink in this game. He gonna throw the kitchen sink, dog. He gonna try all kind of things you ain't never seen. Right. He gonna come at Dan Quinn. He gonna come at him with all kind of things. So all I say is, please, Dan Quinn, match that energy. You know what I mean? I feel like, you saying you having a great time over here, and I love how he came over here and did everything. But now here's the real test, right? Here's the real test on that defense and how tricky and integral you can get, because he's been doing it greatly this year, especially with that bare front that you had talked about boss, when you did that video with that bare front and using Micah Parsons and moving him around.
Yep.
I feel like Micah Parsons really got to be the key. So if we're talking about the chess piece, I feel like Micah Parsons is that chess piece. Not dissing our defense, fellas, but it looked kind of regular when Micah wasn't playing in that game. Philly, it did. It looked regular as hell, dog. They dropped 17 on us like it was nothing. I know we all saying, "Oh, well, we was doing this." I wasn't looking at that daggone it. It was a lot of our starters in there. I know we was missing Micah, but that's the whole point. When we didn't have Micah in there, we looked regular.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
So
average. Please, Dan Quinn, use your Terminator. He's our Terminator. Get him crazy in that game. Play him until his tongue fall off. Okay? Don't be sitting there, hey, well, I want to sub him. He got to play until his tongue fall off. He's our whole deciding piece. I know we got D-Law and Randy Gregory, but come on, fellas. Come on, fellas. This defense is nasty when Micah Parsons turning all the way up. So please at least release that Dragon Slayer, and let's go ahead and slay this Niner Dragon for me, please. He got 101 blitzes. The next person close to him is freaking LVE, and he don't blitz.
Right.
Ooh. Look at this comment real quick to your point. They hit us with a smooth 120 with a backup line. Talking about Philly. Ooh. Yeah, we do. I go take it. I'll wait. What you got, Law?
This is a matchup where this is a chess match, man. I believe if anybody know Dan Quinn, it will be Cal, and if anybody know Cal, it will be Dan Quinn.
Exactly.
So now you're talking about full team as it relates to, regardless of what they said about 120 yards or what have you with the opposing team, the previous team. Like I said, we didn't have Parsons. We didn't have all of our guys equivalent to what we're going to see this weekend. We're going to have J-Ron Kearse. We're going to have Parsons. That's going to shut down most of the stuff that they did as relates to running on the edges. I just look at this game. Physicality is what we're going to bring. Physicality, taking the turnovers, forcing the ball out of the hands of the 49ers. I believe this is where we're going to win the game at. The battle starts right now. The war is on and kicking. I believe that Dan Quinn, all he can do is just look back and say, the offense is going to apply the pressure because the best way to stop the run game is scoring. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to be physical. We're going to hit them in the mouth, and our offense is going to score. I don't think that the 49ers is a shutdown defense. So our offense is going to score, and our defense is going to take care of the rest. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, guys. So two things, man. Two things about, winning and all the schemes, and, follow Boss Cowboy Sports if you hadn't already. Turn on the bell notification icon because we should be having a video about some key plays and formations, and I'll give a little bit of it away right here in the next couple of days. So, when they get into the power, what I call a power wing formation, where they offset the tight end behind the other tight end that's already on the line of scrimmage, which is like an inverted way to do 21 and 31 personnel, we have to attack that formation and the trap man, which all comes down to contain and being physical. But beyond that, here's the key things that the Cowboys are going to have to do, man. The Cowboys are going to have to commit to play for 4 quarters because this San Francisco team got down 17-0 last week versus the Rams, right? They didn't quit, right? They're not a lay-down team. They're young. They got a lot of energy. So we got to be ready to play 4 quarters, number one. Number two, we got to be opportunistic because they are not good enough to just line up straight up and beat the Cowboys. They're not. So Kyle Shanahan in this game, he's going to take risk. He's going to take certain calculated risks. And when they take the risk on a reverse, on a flea flicker, we have to be ready to capitalize and be opportunistic and make them pay for taking a risk. And if we do that, we win the game going away. No problem.
Yeah, and when I look at this chess piece between Kyle and Dan Quinn, one of the things that I think he needs to use is his matchups. I think you hit it dead on the head, Law, OC, and Big, because all of y'all talked about the chess piece of Michael Parsons. Okay. I think Michael Parsons is the key queen on the chessboard. I'm not even playing with y'all. I think he is the difference maker because I think we got to attack this game similar to what we did in Minnesota. When we went into Minnesota, we was having epic success with Parsons as a pass rusher. It was undeniable.
Yes.
But against Minnesota, we knew they was committed to the run. So what we said we go do is we go make you play more of a linebacker, designated linebacker, and we go just have to trust our pass rush to get off. And he had a tremendous game. I think that's the key to it. I think our 3 key guys got to do 3 key jobs. I think Kurt's got to limit Kittle, maybe not fully stop him, but limit him. I think you need Diggs to limit, maybe not all the way stop, but do a great job of limiting and get us a takeaway with my guy from South Carolina. I don't know why I can't remember his name, but I know y'all know I'm talking about Deebo. So yeah, Deebo. We got to take away Deebo with Diggs, and I think you got to really help that weak linebacker room by having your strongest linebacker play it full time with a team that's committed to the run. I think that's the chess moves that you got to do with all 3 of those guys. Let your stars be stars and let your stars take away their stars. That's my answer.
Not bad, man. Not bad.
So final words. This is our first playoff game. I'll kick it off. My final words is this is a wonderful tradition, and I'm so happy that we stumbled into this position to get to be able to revisit history. I think honestly, God has been so good to us in 2020. Even when it looked bad, it's been good, And we actually starting our playoff game at home against now this is a real rival. This is a team that got 5 Super Bowls like us. The ticket sales, they say, I think tripled once they figured out it was going to be just this opponent. The names alone have made everybody come home.
Right.
So I'm so happy to see what Coach Marv always says, where he says history has repeated itself. History is repeating itself. And I think this is a wonderful time to kind of go through the era of Everson Walls with the catch, Emmitt Smith, Aikman, and all those legendary moments that happen with this particular rivalry. It's designed for a show that we go remember for years as we head towards 6. And I really believe it's the team to do it. I think everything is headed that way. I'd be shocked if we don't do it. I would be literally shocked. That's my final word.
Good word right there, bro.
Hey, man, my final word is this, and I'll go next, man, that the Cowboys have a date with destiny, all right? This game is a game that you could begin a new culture of winning, of going deep into the playoffs, of being a Super Bowl contender. And so, my word is just, carpe diem, which is Latin for seize the day. Seize the opportunity. Forget about everything else. Forget about the regular season. You got one game. Put everything on the line, lock in, commit to a 4-quarter fight, because that's what it's going to be versus the San Francisco 49ers football team, and advance to the next round, and let's get to the Super Bowl and go for 6.
All right. Well, we always know we got to leave Law. He always got to end it out. But my final word is this. The time is now, fellas, folks, Cowboys. The time is now. I've been screaming it. The time is now. You got the opportunity. You're hearing all this stuff, all these other football teams looking at Kellen Moore, Dan Quinn. You probably might have some free agents. You don't know if you're going to have some people. You don't know if you're going to have injuries. You got to take the time when it's now. You never know if it is a tomorrow. You can't live like, okay, there might be a tomorrow, because there might not be a tomorrow. So you got to live it right now. And the time is right now. The playoffs are right now. You have the offensive team that you've been building for all these years. It's been competitive, but it's lost because you haven't had the defensive side. Now you finally have it. And you have a chess piece that you can really dominate. So there ain't no tomorrow. Today is today. And like y'all said, We can seize the opportunity. I want this better because I want to go through the San Francisco 49ers. I want a team who's hot. I want a team who y'all saying who's great, so you can knock them off. I want them to be saying, oh, it's the Packers year. Oh, it's this year. Oh, it's Tom Brady. He's playing like an MVP this year. He deserves it. All that talk, ain't nobody talking about Dallas. Only thing they're saying is we're going to choke. I want that because you can shock the world. Now it's your time. Shock the world, Dallas. Shut everybody up and shock the world. Hey, I love being a Cowboy.
Big Game James.
Game changer.
Let's have some fun. Let's have a good time, man. Let's kick it.
Shock the world.
Yeah, that was big. That's big game. Hey, boss, I kind of tweeted you in the DM.
Okay.
I don't know if you can find that on the fly and pull that up, but
I got you.
I just want this for reference points for both nations there, for 49ers nations and Cowboys nation. If there's
How much time I need to? Oh, okay. Give me a second
you
to
see
pull
it, you see it right there.
Okay, I got it.
But
I'm pulling it now,
everyone
bro.
have a reason. But results are what matter, Cowboy Nation. And I believe that both of these franchise, man, really second to none. The Patriots, they got more rings. Yes, the Steelers got more rings. And then one can argue that the Patriots got it in a sleazy way, so they didn't really get it like we did. And shout out to the Steelers, though, for getting there and handling their business. But this game right here, Cowboy Nation, is a must-see TV. If you got to work on Sunday, take off, because I can't wait to see this matchup with my guy Dak Prescott versus Jimmy, right? And then you look at Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard versus those two running backs. And then you think about it, the wide receiver core versus theirs. This is the matchup that we've been looking for. The media, everybody leaning toward. It just seemed like that. It's been always the media leaning toward the 49ers. Ain't that right, Big Game James? They always leaning toward 49ers. And the Cowboys.
They love them Niners.
They love it. They love it,
They love them Niners.
But I come here to tell you that the Cowboys going to do just what the Cowboys do in this particular light. Show up and show out. I get it. Everybody want to cast us out and say, hey, this team is not physical enough. Well, say that to J-Rock. You know what I'm saying? He run, he hit, and he talk. You know what? Oh, say that to Parsons. He is a full-grown lion out there. Oh, say that to DeMarcus Lawrence, the tank that he is. So I believe in the hearts of hearts this team is ready to showcase to the world who they are. Now, you might have to squint your eyes to see that, but look at the last time we faced each other in the playoffs. This is the last time, and of course, the 49ers came out with the dub, and I'm not trying to jinx us anything, Cowboy Nation, because I don't believe in that part of it. But it was Steve Young versus Troy Aikman, Ricky Waters. You remember that, Big Game, James? Versus Emmitt Smith and all of those boys. But we had, look at that, just look at it, man. Alvin Harper, Jaden Novacek, moves. Oh, my goodness, man. Larry Allen, big Larry Allen at that, baby. Look at that. Tony Tolbert was on the line. Dixon Edwards, Leon Lett. Look at those names. Larry Brown, man. He holding it down, baby. So, and Kevin Smith, he tried to do his deal. And then the next year we went and got Dion. You see Prime on the other side, Eric Davis. Those boys were pretty good. And shout out to John Taylor and Jerry Rice and Brent Jones. So this bring back old feelings, baby. This is what the NFL would look like if they didn't add in the salary cap to bring parity in the league. I get it, so everybody else can get and be more achieved and everything. But this Dallas Cowboys team, we coming. We making sure that we going to make history this weekend. They telling everybody to wear your white. Let's get into the stand. Let's make some noise, Cowboy Nation. Let's bring home that W. Let's continue to make this thing happen the best way possible. That's all I'm going to have to say on this, man. I don't want to say too much because I'm going to save it for the rest of the show for the next time we go live, baby. Let's go.
3, 2, 1, drop it.
And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best.
Drop it hard.
Let's go.
It's time to
All right, that was the final word, man, with Boss Cowboy, Big Game James, and the law. Nothing but the best with the OC.
Thank y'all for watching.
Yeah, man. Thank y'all for watching, man. This ain't
Appreciate
it, man.
y'all.
We
Love
got
y'all.
about 4
Cowboys
more
Nation,
time.
baby.
That's right.
Thank y'all so much.
We're gonna be doing this show, man. I don't want this show to stop. Let's keep this show going for the next 4 weeks or 5 weeks. How many weeks to the Super Bowl?
Man, we just got 4 more games, baby. That's all we need to know.
Yeah,
4 more games. We've been on a 4-game winning streak
4 more
before.
games.
Yoga fire.
Yeah.
We're slaying dragons, baby. We're slaying dragons, baby. We gotta
Look
slay
at
them
Dak Prescott
dragons.
playoff
I'm
numbers,
telling you.
baby. Dak
need
Prescott
them
playoff
slayoffs.
numbers, fantastic. Yeah.
I ain't trying to talk about no draft. I ain't trying to talk about no free agents. I ain't trying to talk about that. I want us to continue to talk about our next opponent.
Yeah, it's time. The time is now. The time is now, man.
Appreciate everybody that's
Ain't no
super chatted,
tomorrow.
though. Appreciate y'all. I see y'all.
Yes, appreciate all the super chats. Love all the fam. Appreciate everybody was in the house. We had a nice crowd today. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all.
Over 1,000 folks was watching, man. That's dope.
Man, it was dope. Appreciate y'all. Let's keep on making this thing getting bigger and bigger.
Let's get it. The
Let's
final
go.
word. We out.